Today, I'm talking to Jeff Sumners, who's our reputation marketing specialist and somebody that I've got to know pretty well throughout the BX community. So, Jeff, would you just like to tell me what you do?
Well, basically, as you say, I'm a reputation marketing specialist, but it's actually worked out a lot more than that because now somebody gave me the title of local customer acquisition specialist, because that's the result of using the system that I work for local business owners, attracting local customers.
Okay, where do you specialize in within that? So,
Well, basically, I look at the full online presence, and the most important thing that you can have is your Google business profile for local businesses. National businesses don't have that, but local businesses do. And Google loves that, and provided it's optimized as much as you can, and very few people do it, and you have it active on every week, do something every week, put a post up and things like that, regular photos, and keep all that active. Google loves it. And then you show up in the 3-pack, and especially when you're getting reviews. And this is another thing I found recently when I've checked on people's reviews, they don't answer them. They don't reply. And replying is the best, because if you don't reply, do you really care what people say? And by replying, the thing to remember too is that you're not replying to the person who left it, you're replying to everybody who's going to read it. And that could be thousands of people. So if you do it correctly, you can even turn a negative into a positive.
This is why I wanted to talk to you, because this is really interesting. You're really about that Google My Business profile, how to manage that profile, making sure that profile is current, how to get reviews, how to reply to reviews. And as you say, when you're replying to good or bad reviews, you're actually not replying specifically to that person, but the audience who may be actually reading that. So in that Google My Business, what's the proper language? Is it's Google Business Profile?
Google Business Profile. It was just Google Profile, I think, to start with. Then it went to Google My Business, and about 18 months ago, I think they changed to Google Business Profile.
Okay. So
they're always adding things to it all the time.
Okay. So when you're dealing with a client, and I think this would be really valuable for, again, us at Skilled Suite, we're dealing with the small business owners. That's where we're really interested, just in the small business owners. What do you see that people don't do that they should be doing in their Google My Business profile? So let's say, number one, they should have one if they don't. But let's assume they've got a profile.
Yeah, they've got to claim it to start with, and then they've got to fill it in, and they put in their categories. And there's a main category, and then there's other ones that are related to similar things that they do, but you must have a primary category. And one of the things they're doing now is you're able to add services, and you put a description in for each of those services. It's only got a short description, 300 characters, but that really helps too. Everything you fill in makes a big difference. You put your hours in there, and if you're closed for a public holiday, you've got to change that for that public holiday. You can do it in advance, and you've got to chase reviews. There's a special link you can get to send out to people, and you can even put in the form of a QR code. And they're the main things that you've got to have. And also regular posting, post once a week. And Google loves activity. So they're the main things that you've got to do. But although I look at everything, I look at everything else online too, because website, if you've got a website, you can put that onto your Google business profile, and there's a great link to your website. People go from one to the other. And then you should have your Facebook as well, Facebook business page, and keep that up to date and regular posting on that. Make videos. You can have a YouTube channel, and make sure that the YouTube channel name reflects your business name. And one of the things a lot of people forget is local directories, and local directories give a backlink to your website, which all increases the customer awareness. And I've had people that I've set up the local directories for and have told me they're getting more hits on their website now. All that sort of thing, all added in together, and it's all part of the local online presence. The core is the reputation, and then everything else is built around it.
So basically, to build your local online presence, you want to make sure you claim your Google business profile, set up your primary categories and your services. You make sure that you have your business hours and you keep them current. You're asking for reviews and replying to reviews. You're generating regular content, and you've got your website linked to your business profile. Also, having a Facebook business page or a YouTube channel which matches the name of your business, and making sure you're current on all your local directories. So from a broad if people are doing those things, they're going to boost their local online presence.
The more places you're found, the easier it is for people to find you.
Have you got any stories that you'd like to tell where you've done some things and then I've seen, the results just by doing all of these simple steps? Because I know in business myself, it's not necessarily that complicated. It's just about doing all the simple things right and being consistent on them. Have you got any good stories where you've created something or you've done something with a client and I've seen the results? If you want to share the story and share the result.
Yeah, well, I just got a client at the moment who works on roofs, and he repairs damaged roofs and also paints them. And one of the things I did was I was putting up posts for him on Facebook and also for his Google business profile. And I also do a big blog for him on his website. But one of the things I've been doing lately is putting all those photos he's got of the stages of the repair of the roof. I put those in together and make a reel of it. And I put that up, and within 2 days, he'd had 110 people see that reel. All those sort of things happen. And it's a matter of not one thing having the whole lot together and all pointing back to his website, all promoting his business.
I think too, that's a good point, because we spoke about it there last week really briefly, that you've got the influencer culture where you've got people getting hundreds of thousands of views, but in the context of a small business, having 100 potential customers watch a piece of content that you've got is actually quite valuable. And we will go and network in a room of 20 people, and we see that as a good value for our time. But then also creating some content, and if you get 5 or 6 interested customers watch that, see, it's quite rewarding, although it's not particularly many views, but it's about the right views and building the content. Again, if it's a roofing in this example, and making sure, I've got a problem with the roof, it builds that trust. This is what they do. My roof, I want it to look like that. And you can see the before and after.
But it's not a matter of just getting immediate action. Sometimes the more you're up there, the more you're aware, or people are aware of you. They may not need you now, but they might in the future. I've just had a client that I was talking to a couple of years ago, not in the context of asking for business from her, but she just rang me up about 2 weeks ago, and she wants me to do some work for her. She just had a new website built by somebody else who didn't want to do the Google business profile. So I set that up for her.
Yeah, another good lesson there.
It's another lesson. It doesn't always come straight away. Keep that presence there, make people aware of who you are and what you do. They may not need you now, but they'll remember it in the future.
Yeah, and exactly, if you've got all of your online presence sorted, then you're easy to find when they do come calling. And if you have got some content there to build trust, that adds to it. Absolutely.
And if you don't keep regular content going, Facebook and Google forget about you.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything that can be shared should be shared.
Yeah.
So when you put something up, get your family to share it.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts?
The main thing is build your online presence and expand it as much as possible. And if you're business to business, throw in LinkedIn.
So yeah, business to business, don't forget LinkedIn.
Yeah,
absolutely. And something that I actually, last time that you spoke, which was last week, you actually said that in the Google My Business profile now, previously it was images, but now you can add short videos. Is that correct?
The short videos, they've got to be no more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And although the 30 seconds is not the primary thing, it's actually the size of the video, how many kilobytes it is. I can't remember the exact number, but that governs it. But so little short videos you can put up there. Because
I thought that was worthwhile. But yeah, as I said, we're part of that BX community and I see you quite often. And then I got to see you speak there last week, and just going through the things you did around your local online presence and making sure all of those things are up to date prompted me to actually just go and check our profile to make sure our categories were up to date, responded to any reviews, it was all current, our hours were right. So I just thought all of those simple steps didn't take very long, but it's quite important that people can find you when they're looking for you.
And the other thing too is when you're responding to reviews, you don't respond with the same message every time.
Okay.
I've seen so many people sort of just say, thank you for the great review, and leave it at that.
Yeah.
So ideally the response should be tailored to each person and not actually saying exactly what you did for them, but making it a bit different every time.
Personalising your response to a good review. What about how would you recommend responding to a bad review?
Basically, well, one of the ones that I had was a motor mechanic, and a lady booked her car in with an Auto Guru special where the mechanic makes nothing out of it. And as soon as he started work on it, he found a major oil leak. So he rang the lady and she said, no, don't do it today. I haven't got the money, so we'll do it again later. So she came and picked the car up that afternoon and put a review up that night. He had the car all day and didn't fix the oil leak. So then we put a reply up that he found the oil leak, immediately started working. He rang the lady. She said, don't do it today. And we put on there, we do not do work we are not authorised to do.
Yeah.
Anyone reading that is going to say, oh, this is a good place to go. I'm not going to put my car in for a $100 job and find a bill for $1,000 when I come to pick it up. So the people that are reading that, that's going to be their prime message out of it.
Yeah, that's a good response, isn't it? Saying, yeah, hey, we don't do unauthorized work. Wait for you're okay. Yeah, I think that's a great example of giving a positive spin on a negative review, because the negative reviews are going to come. If you're in business, not every touch point with a customer is going to go according to plan, even if you try your very best.
And also, if you've got a perfect 5, then it sounds a bit fictitious.
Yeah.
Who can please 100% of the people 100% of the time?
Yeah, of course.
And some people will never give you a perfect score anyway, regardless. They don't give perfect scores to anyone. They just might give a 4.9.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So you get, the best you get is 4 stars instead of 5.
Yeah. Or a 4-star. Yeah, actually, they have to be a 4-star, but your average, it could work out at 4.9. Average should be above 4.5.
Is that just from experience or is there any other metrics that you've heard that are 4.5?
4.5, that's the result of surveys that have been done, mainly through Bright Local. And they're also saying, that over 80% of people take notice of reviews.
Yes.
Before they will actually work with a business. And even if it's a personal recommendation, they'll quite often go online and find out what other people are saying.
Well, I know myself, that's when I need a new business. We're relatively new back to Brisbane. So we've been back in Brisbane 3 years, and there's a lot of services that I haven't needed to use before, like plumbers or what have you. Actually, we had a water leak the other day, something that I couldn't fix, and that was the first place that I went, was through the Google my business profile, and looked at the plumbers with the best reviews, and that was the first person that I spoke to.
That's another thing too. I saw some statistics the other day. The average Australian moves 13 times in their lifetime. So if they're about 78, that works out to about 6 times.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you're continually losing customers just through people moving.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can't find the new ones because your local presence isn't correct.
And anyone moving into a new area, they've got nobody to recommend anything, so they'll go online.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting frame, because there's the two sides of it. It's one, you're going to have that customer attrition because they move out of your service area, but you're also going to have the customer acquisition opportunity as they move in, as long as your presence is there and they can find you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. I've enjoyed our conversation today.
Yeah, no, really good. Thanks.
Look forward to catching up with you face to face, and yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much for this opportunity.
You're welcome.